Hello. Today is Tuesday. Good day. There's lots of people in the parking lot. There's like a car that came in to begin with, so I'm afraid that they're going to come up behind me. But all good nonetheless. So, didn't go to the gym again this morning, but plan is to go tomorrow morning. What I'm noticing though is that because the day that I did go to the gym a week ago, the week prior to that, I had gotten in the habit of getting up and coming for a walk here at 6 in the morning. Now, since then, I have not done that and just stayed in bed, like waking up at the 6 o'clock alarm and then going, ooh, this is a cool, fun activity we could do, snoozing until 8:30. So that is, so I think more tomorrow I need to get out of bed at 6 at the bare minimum. If I don't want to go to the gym, then I go here for a walk in the morning to again get back into the habit, the first step before we can get to the gym part. So that's that. Also, today was a fantastic day. 125 dials, resulting in 2 booked demos, and one of the booked demos from yesterday was hosted today and the person showed up. I don't know the outcome, but as long as they're showing up, then I get points. Today was also it was an interesting, I had hit the 2 booked demos by like around, like it was like around like between 1 and 2 kind of thing. And they were actually booked back to back, like one after the other, which was cool. And both of them were ones which I had, like they were BC time people, they were Pacific Standard Time that I had pushed back. I think maybe one was in California, whatever. They're both Pacific Standard Time people whose name I saw in the morning and had delayed the call until the afternoon. Technically both of them were in that 10 to 11 in the morning time, which, looking at the call metrics of the connections times and the demos booked, 10 to 11 is starting to become a popular time slot of people picking up the phone, and by consequence, demos being booked. Now, I don't know, what I'm interested in is how much user bias is the word I'm going to use there is, because I know that there are times when I'm calling more frequently. Like I don't call nearly as consistently between 9 and 10 as I do between 10 and 11. So then a bunch of those are Eastern Standard Time people. So then is that a better time for people to pick up the phone, or do I just have more volume of calls during that time frame? That I guess will come out in the wash with the more data and the more users. Because like if I look at the other junior account executives amount of demos booked and calls connections, his 2 to 3 slot is like really popular, whereas my 2 to 3 slot is not very, meaning he's getting like my 10 to 11 slot is as popular and as successful as his 2 to 3 slot, which it then goes like what the data is showing me right now is the best time to call the prospects we are calling is during the daytime, which essentially means just like, can you dial their phone number? Are you working your regular hours? If the answer to both of those questions is yes, they are likely to pick up the phone. So that's that. I wanted to record the stats that I have for the month of September, but I'm still finalizing that with the manager because some of them aren't, like what he reported on Monday in our one-to-one didn't match what I had written down myself. And then he was like, okay, yeah, no, just if you could go through and verify all of them and like send them to me just so we can get an official stat. So then part of today was spent looking at all of them. What I found was the number that I had written down was also inaccurate. It was an underestimate, which is always good. But then there's some nuanced ones where it's like I'm not sure if the person showed up, does this technically count? Just stuff to work out, but I'm sure will happen. So like no stress on that. I'm feeling good that I used the weekend to edit videos because now I'm editing ahead of time, like ahead of schedule. And so I guess I need to get to a point where if I can edit these day videos ahead of schedule, then I will get to a point where I can start working on separate ones on schedule. Oh, that was the other thing, is I think what is reasonable for me, because like the idea is like the base salary that I have, I will use as my living expenses. Are there people? No. As my living expenses. Any money I make on top of that was going to go towards some sort of sales training or whatever. But I think I also feel comfortable because I need another like hard drive to save all the videos because I don't have enough space. But so the commission money could be used towards anything that is actively building the business idea that I have. And if I need more storage space to store the videos that I'm recording, that technically is, I guess you could call it a business expense. But again, just approaching it with that framework of I live on whatever the base salary is, and then everything extra is being invested into myself. I could invest it into the S&P, but right now I'm listening to Alex Hormozy in his alternative of investing into the SNME, and while buying a storage device might not necessarily be something like a course on how to do a particular skill to make me more money, it does facilitate the idea that I have, and I'm making steps towards that. So that's cool. Not the train. Also, I had a conversation with the sales manager today, and he went going like, I Googled your name before. And then so Google my name. And then so like the YouTube videos pop up. And then like I was like, oh yeah, I used to have a vlog. And then he was like, oh, that's super cool. But the reason why I'm saying this is because it just was I'm paranoid there's people. It is nice. Again, it's reinforcing the idea that I've already had that has been continued to be reinforced. It is nice being in an environment that is, I don't like that is accepting. That's not the word I want to use, but that was the reaction. It wasn't like, oh, like, ooh, you can't be doing that. Like any sort of negative thing that was like, that's cool. And then so again, that feedback gives me more permission to take up more, gives me the permission psychologically to continue taking up space in terms of the person that I am. Like, I don't feel like I have to hide that aspect of me. Not that it would need to be hidden or whatever, but it just is like okay, hold on, no. I have done something slightly what I'd like to be doing later, and you haven't reacted negatively. Therefore, I continue to be more encouraged to keep developing that side. So again, that's cool. That's another example of how environment and the people that are around you and you talk to on a frequent basis are extremely important for your own personal development. After this, I gotta go to Walmart and get groceries. Go for the drive. That will be fun. Oh, also, it was just nice because the 2 demos that I booked today, I used the same line that I've been using, and it's been having a lot of success, which is listen, this is a cold call, so you can either hang up right now or give me the 30 seconds I need to explain what we do and then decide. And both of them, like, the conversation was very quick, professional, like they listened to it. So then, like, I think people like when they know where they are and who they're dealing with, and they feel like they're being tricked. So then if I am telling you, hey, I'm trying to sell you something, if if they then, what is like, I'm trying to sell you something, then they go like, okay, I know what to expect here. If you do business in an open, direct, and transparent way, then I trust the things that you say won't be distortions of the truth. So then I will be more willing to entertain the conversation. Because if you're just saying like promising the world for me, great, sounds amazing and looks good on a billboard, but that's not how people talk, and that's not how the reality actually is. And I've also thought like it's like, what is the difference in this approach and say something like going like, hey, are you busy right now? Is now a bad time? Sorry to bother you, or something like that, is because the three ones that I just said right there are all asking for permission to speak. The person then has to say yes. And psychologically, it's a lot easier to say no than it is yes, because like, yes, you're giving in, like, okay, yes, there you go. Whereas this approach is kind of like going like, you can either hang up or give me the 30 seconds. It's instead of it being like, hey, can I talk to you? It's like, hey, I am talking to you. You can tell me to fuck off at any time. And then when they don't tell you to fuck off, you then continue talking to them. You know? So it's like you take the space, but then why why are you not just stiff arming them? How is it not just like you're just badgering them and beating them into submission? It's because you're being assertive, taking up the space, but then allowing them to kick you out. So it's like giving them that's the illusion of control. But they do have control over the conversation if it ends. And again, if they say, yeah, I don't want to take this call right now. Okay, cool. I will try again later. Click. Because it's a lot easier to talk to somebody. The amount of effort that will go into convincing them to stay on the phone isn't worth the time nearly as much as like, I forgot where I was going. It doesn't actually matter. Fuck, I forgot the thought completely. Doesn't actually matter where it's going. That's not what I was talking about. Whatever, regardless, this will be thoughts that I will fully develop in time, and I'm happy about it. And today's a good day, and I have no complaints. Oh, also, that was the thing, which is a different thing. I'm recognizing that the pacing I would like for these videos is going to be consistent with the pacing that it has been so far. Which is not the choppy cuts. Like, yes, I will add text or effects or visual stimuli things to engage whatever it is, the person, or if I feel like adding them. But I've seen the type of content I like is very unedited sort of stuff. Like, just give me a snapshot into the life. That I find much more appealing and engaging. And I also think that the lesson that I have learned, and in listening to other people who make content, lessons that they have learned is like, make the videos for yourself, but not like, don't forget about the people that are watching. Like, you will be aware of that, but I should make a video I would feel like consuming, I want to consume, like rather than trying to make it what everyone else wants. Because if you make it what everyone else wants, it's going to look like what everyone else makes, because that's what everybody else is doing. But the most unique perspective I have to offer to the world is my own, which is not to say my perspective is the best, but it more is just to say I can either appeal to the average by being the average, or I can appeal to everybody by being the weirdest thing that is, by not being the weirdest thing that ever is. Well, I mean, like, our brains naturally ignore all of the things that are new. We only look and notice the things that are novel. So if I am a different person from everyone else in the world, which everybody is, then me manifesting, me being, breaking that out, I'm overthinking it now. The most interesting person I can be is myself, rather than what someone else thinks I should be. I think, okay, that's one I'm gonna have to iron out. Regardless, you have a good day. Goodbye.